Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to a very special episode of Trigger Warning Radio. I am your host, the Kaiju Conservative, and Chelsea Manning, ladies and gentlemen, has made the news once again today. You might remember that Chelsea, a couple of days ago, announced that she was running for the U.S. Senate in Maryland. Well, Chelsea has now released her very first campaign ad. So I've got that ad for you right here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go ahead and play that ad for you in its entirety. It's a little over a minute long. And then after that ad, I'm going to give you my take on what I think about it, number one, and number two, what it means for the Maryland Senate race and the Democrat Party as a whole. So here it is, Chelsea Manning's very first campaign ad.
I'm Chelsea Manning, and I approve this message.
We live in trying times. Times of fear. Of suppression. Of hate. We don't need more or better leaders. We need someone willing to fight. We need to stop asking them to give us our rights. They won't support us. They won't compromise. We need to stop expecting that our systems will somehow fix themselves. We need to actually take the reins of power from them. We need to challenge them at every level. We need to fix this. We don't need them anymore. We can do better.
You're damn right we got this.
All right, so that was Chelsea Manning's very first campaign ad, ladies and gentlemen, and oh my God. It offers absolutely nothing of substance. Of course, it's very early in the primary. Chelsea hasn't yet filed to run in the state's primary yet. Of course, neither has the other guy in that race as well. But they don't have to file for another month. So it's still in the early stages. It's at that point in a race where the candidates are kind of feeling things out and gauging where their supporters lie. And Chelsea, my God. Chelsea, I guess, figures is just going to go, full on balls to the wall, or lack of balls to the wall, just full on leftist as hard as physically possible in this race, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, the ad itself is extremely violent, of course. It has, you saw footage from various Antifa protests in there. Of course, you saw footage from Charlottesville, the supposedly violent white supremacists who actually, truth be told, were not violent until Antifa and the left showed up. But that's neither here nor there. So, looking at the reaction on Twitter to Chelsea's candidacy, it's really an eye-opening experience, ladies and gentlemen, because Chelsea does not seem to be popular at all, from what I can see. I mean, you've of course got the right-wing trolls that are just hammering Chelsea on the fact that she's essentially a traitor and betrayed her oath to defend the U.S. Constitution and the country against all enemies, foreign and domestic. But then the more interesting thing that you see is you see the leftists that are urging her not to run because she'll split the liberal vote in that race and possibly jeopardize a Senate seat for the Democrats, and I think that's actually a pretty good read of the situation here, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I've seen the Washington Examiner, for example, compared her to Judge Roy Moore in Alabama as as an example of an extremist that'll damage the party brand. Whether or not Roy Moore damaged the Republican brand, that's neither here nor there. That's another issue. But I think that's a pretty good read of Chelsea. I mean, looking at Chelsea's Twitter feed, Chelsea is far to the left. I mean, if by some miracle she happened to win the race for Senate in Maryland and became a U.S. Senator, she would probably be the single most radical government official ever elected since Barack Obama. And that's saying something. I mean, you know, Chelsea's very, very big on LGBT rights, very anti-government, very anti-police, extremely anti-police, to the point where on National Law Enforcement Day, she tweeted out, "Fuck the police." So, yeah, that just shows you where her policies will be. Her policies and campaign positions, we can expect, are going to be very far to the left. And I think that's going to appeal in a lot of ways to the Antifa crowd in the Maryland race. You're going to have all those hardcore leftists that agree with her and that go out for that sort of thing. They're going to support her pretty heavily. I think we're probably going to see more of a social media campaign rather than an in-person campaign, just because you know, Chelsea's a millennial, very active on social media. I think that's just naturally where her campaign is going to gravitate to. I think we're going to see, you know, a lot of periscopes. I think we're going to see a lot of Facebook posts. We'll probably mix that with some maybe some live stream town halls or Reddit AMAs or something like that. So I think that's what we can expect. And not only that, in addition to the hardcore leftists supporting Chelsea, you're going to also have those leftists that will knee-jerk support her because she is transgendered. You're going to have, I think, a lot of support coming from Maryland's LGBT community, because that would actually be a huge coup for them. I mean, if Chelsea won, let's face it, she would be, I think, America's first transsexual senator, or transsexual government official in general. So, you know, I don't think the LGBT community can pass that sort of thing up. And you're going to see a hell of a lot of support from them on this. Ultimately, is Chelsea going to is her campaign going to fail? Is it going to win? Is she going to be Maryland's next senator? I don't think it's going to get that far. Honestly, I don't think she's going to make it out of the primary. She's too polarizing a figure for anybody who would consider themselves a moderate to actually vote for. And let's just face it, folks, a lot of people on all sides see her as a traitor. They see what she did as treason. And a lot of people are not going to vote for her based on that fact. Now, the one thing I will say about this is we're definitely going to have to pay very close attention to the Senate race in Maryland, because Chelsea just made it that much more interesting. And personally, ladies and gentlemen, I can't wait for all those hardcore leftists and LGBT activists to start screaming about how transphobic all the other Democrats in the state are, because they refuse to support and vote for transsexual Chelsea Manning. I think that is going to be the most delicious part of this entire race by far. Hey guys, thanks so much for listening. What do you think of Chelsea Manning's candidacy? Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Do you think she is going to split the vote? Do you think she could possibly win? Let me know in the comments section below. If you liked what you heard, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, whether you're listening on BitChute, PewTube, or YouTube. It does help me out when you do that, and I will see you all next time.